Hey everyone, this is Angela, Real Estate Ladies Lounge podcast, and I am here with the beautiful Maggie Wallace. She is a nurse practitioner of Island Life Personalized Medicine.
That's right.
That's a mouthful, but I got it right. Anyway, we're here today. We're out here at Pappy's having some water and some latte, chai tea. Which is actually really, really good. But I thought I'd have Maggie come on because Maggie was, I had a women's expo and Maggie was one of the speakers, and a lot of the women really, really resonated with what you offered and what you spoke about and everything. So, and plus Maggie's moved down here 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. She moved down here. So go ahead and tell them what it's like. You became a business owner. She, became a business owner, and she's out of the hospital working. You came down, were you working in the hospital?
So I worked inpatient before I moved down here. So we've been here for about 5 years now, but beforehand my life was in basically mostly inpatient care, although I did do some women's health oncology and women's health outpatient, but most of my career, was actually inpatient medicine.
Okay.
Emergency medicine, ICU, and then general sort of med surge and so forth. So this has been fun.
Yeah.
If you would have asked me 10 years ago if I would have ever thought to do anything other than sort of your inpatient medicine, or even let alone open up my own practice,
right,
I probably would have laughed.
Yeah.
Because it just seemed like a daunting task. And I think like everybody else, we always get sort of comfortable in our daily life. But for me, women's health is truly the core of my love. And healing patients through functional medicine. So, when we're in traditional medicine, it's very hard to sort of do that. We're very limited with the patient time that we have for visits.
Yeah, exactly.
And obviously insurance plays a large role in that. So stepping away from that about a year ago, that's sort of when I decided to kind of go out on my own and take honestly like a life risk and decide to kind of follow my heart. I have no business experience whatsoever. They don't teach business in medicine.
No, they don't. Former nurse here, so yeah. No.
Yes, so I'm a great clinical thinker and critical thinker. But in terms of, business and survival in that way, this is every day is a new day. Yeah. But what's been the most joyful thing is to actually be able to spend time with my patients.
Yeah.
And to truly see, honestly, just people starting to feel better. There's nothing better than, anybody really, but women specifically for me, seeing them for a consult on one day and them think that they can't feel their best.
Yes.
And to have them come back and finally say to me, like, Maggie, like, I'm feeling so much better. You are changing my life. And not only physically see it, like their health looks better, they feel better mentally, but you can just see this new, like, ignited
mentality, and their emotions are just so much, they're so much more emotionally present and everything. So the big thing is because I'm from Indiana, and where are you from? Where'd you move from?
So I was originally born in Poland, but most of my my adolescent to adult life, I lived in Connecticut. Yeah.
So the healthcare systems, in Connecticut and in Indiana vary greatly compared to down here. So, I, being a former nurse of 26 years, it felt like 66. Whew. Being a former nurse of 26 years, there is a huge, how they handle healthcare down here can be very daunting, especially if you are moving down and you already have some health issues and you're looking to see find a doctor or whatever. And so this is why I really love about Maggie, is because she's changed up how she handles her patients, so that way she can focus on them a little bit more, and you go to them too, correct?
That's right.
Yeah.
So my primary care patients and then my functional medicine member patients, I will actually go to them. So we will do like their physicals, their consults for them. They actually have direct access to me almost all the time. I call that like business hours. And we use a HIPAA compliant messaging system. So people don't have to wait hours for a phone call back, or if they need a refill or anything like that. And it's been great because, I'm not having to see 30 35, 40 patients a day anymore. And, you know, it's really hard to give personalized care in a 5-minute visit.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's being able to give people that quality back.
Yeah.
I think that
Definitely.
is just really important. I think, you know, in the last couple of years, especially, you know, I think there's a huge loss in confidence in medicine in general, you know, insurance, but just in overall health. And I'm trying to restore that here in the community.
Yeah. What are some other things too? I think you would actually be really good at letting people know when you're moving and you're transferring from one doctor to another doctor, or you're, you know, transferring care, or even if you're perfectly healthy, because I have no issues, no medications or anything, but what is some things that people need to know when they're moving down, if they have health issues, and even if they don't have health issues, you know, what are some things that you can, you know, tips and things that you can tell them to watch out for?
Yeah, so that's actually a great question. So one of the things I would definitely recommend is there's often not like a wait list, but there's usually a waiting period for a lot of providers here because we're getting such an influx of people moving here, which is great for our community, but I think it does kind of make the healthcare system down here a little bit more difficult because wait times are a little bit harder to get into places. Is maybe starting a little bit in advance. When you know you're going to move, start doing your research on that. And don't be afraid to kind of go in and just ask people questions, and it's okay to ask for second opinions and so forth.
Yeah.
But
Advocate for your health. I mean, regardless, it doesn't matter what you have going on. You know, there's a lot of really good doctors and nurses and nurse practitioners down here, but if you're not advocating for your own health, then it makes it even harder, because again, they're going with the whole point of their visit of seeing them and only spending, you know, 10-15 minutes with them. So
yeah, I mean, and honestly, that's one thing that I feel like Island Life Personalized Medicine does so well at, because I see less patients throughout my day. I'm able to honestly just go through people's histories so well. And a lot of things, honestly, that, you know, a lot of patients would be normally referred to, because I have more time to deal with it, patients end up having less referrals.
That's
and
good.
if they do need a specialist and something's out of my scope of practice, I'm able to work well with that specialist to kind of help coordinate care.
Yeah. So what are some new things that you've implemented to create this level of care that you're providing? What are the changes that you made that you see in your regular go to the doctor's office versus, aside from increased amount of time with patient care, what are some other things that you see that happen to be, you know, huge benefits that some patients, you know, might...
Yeah, so honestly, a lot of it has to do with the access of care too. So a lot of times, you know, patients will kind of need like an urgent visit, or something's going on, or if they were hospitalized or whatnot, and they're still waiting for long periods of time for those follow-ups. I will actually go visit my patients in the hospital. And then we follow up very closely after their discharge. And then, you know, aside from hospitalizations, all of my patients have same day or next day appointments guaranteed. And so, you know, we're able to kind of tackle things. And even with healthy patients, you know, I always tell people is that prevention is always way more important than trying to tackle things. And it's so much easier. You know, keeping my patients healthy is important. I mean, I have patients who have no medical issues all the way to really complex patients. And so, you know, your health is your own insurance. I think it's more important than regular insurance. So
so
you gotta invest in yourself.
Exactly, invest in yourself. And so if you're moving down here, or if you're already here and you're thinking, is Maggie right for me as a primary doctor or whatever, you know, I'll have the information. You can reach out to her, but is there a website or something that they can go to?
So you can always visit our website. It's Island Life PM, which is personalizedmedicine.com. So it's islandlifepm.com. You can also follow us on Facebook, which is just Island Life Personalized Medicine. Or you can give us an email at islandlifenp@outlook.com.
And you can always reach me up and I can put you in contact with her. So, but thank you, Maggie,
You're
for
welcome.
coming
Thanks for
out.
having me.
And y'all have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your week and your weekend. And I will see you on the next podcast.
Bye.
Bye.